Ready to roll?
Yep, we're good.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming today and attending. I'm hoping that Jeff's presentation is a little bit more exciting than mine, but I think you're going to be extremely impressed with our wireless warehousing system. It's really second to none, I think, in the industry. And then you'll be more excited when you see the web portal that our folks at Aldrich Solutions will be showing right after. So I think this is going to be an action-packed webinar today. So, all right, Jeff, I'm gonna let you knock it out of the park, buddy. Go get it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks again. I'm gonna get started here. Let me stop my video and move this out of the way. One sec. Everyone still hear me?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
We're good. All right. Well, again, thanks for joining our second part of our three-part TrulinX overview series. My presentation today is about TrulinX Air. This is our wireless warehouse management system. After I've finished with my presentation, you're going to get to see our partner Aldrich Web Solutions presentation by Bill Rosado about their e-commerce solution and the tools which integrate with TrulinX. Please note we're going to be recording this session so that you could review at a later time if you missed anything. For those who don't know me, my name is Jeff Waite. I am the Customer Relationship Manager here at Tribute. You can keep my contact information for any follow-up questions or proposals you might be interested in regarding TrulinX Air. I'm also going to include it on my last slide. During my presentation today, please feel free to pose questions in the chat area. I will get to them as soon as I finish up, and if I can't answer them today, I will definitely follow up with the group. We appreciate any feedback or questions you guys might have. All right, so today my presentation is going to cover the following topics. Why should you improve your warehouse processes? How can TrulinX Air assist with these improvements? How to get started using TrulinX Air, and a quick demonstration. First, let's talk about a warehouse without a warehouse management system in place. How often are you shipping incorrect orders or parts to your customers? Are you tracking these stats each month? If not, you might have unhappy customers and you don't even know it. Are you cycle counting your warehouse or still doing a year-end physical inventory count? This costs time and money, and most distributors need to shut down the entire operation while everything is counted. Let's be honest, since large retailers have raised the bar on customer expectations and near perfect order accuracy, this only changes the mindset of any buyer, regardless of whether you're buying a lamp for their home or purchasing parts for their hydraulic pumps at work. Using TrulinX Air can help cut down on human error in your warehouse. By scanning a bin and then an item, your chance of grabbing the incorrect part is greatly reduced. There's plenty of stats to back up barcoding. Get rid of all that paper in your warehouse. Using TrulinX Air reduces count sheets and a lot of other current printed functions regarding TrulinX. Cycle count using TrulinX Air. Bring your inventory accuracy up so that your CSRs are more confident in what is out in your warehouse. Please don't make your employees constantly run back and forth so that they can put their hands on it, so to speak. I've been there, and it is frustrating as well as a waste of time. This creates transparency between your warehouse and front office in real time. Email notifications to proper admins when an item is moved to a different bin or return needs processed. And stop losing inventory. It costs a distributor much more than replacement cost when an item goes missing. Here's a not so fun fact provided by John Schreibfeder of Effective Inventory Management, who is one of our consulting partners that we recommend. He says the true cost to recoup the loss of missing material can be figured by the following equation. The value of lost material divided by your average gross margin percentage equals the needed additional sales to recoup the loss. For example, if you lose $1,000 worth of material and your company's average gross margin percentage is 25%, you'll need $4,000 in additional sales to recoup that loss. So we released TrulinX Air over 2 years ago, and we currently have quite a few customers utilizing it. We continue to listen to our customer base and develop new programs within the product. These are some of the features and workflows that are already built into TrulinX Air. So you can do bin moves. You can quickly and easily move inventory between bins in real time. Inventory count or cycle counting. TrulinX Air effectively replaces the physical inventory entry process. The put away, receive items and verify parts are put into correct bins. You can even override bins on the fly, and the appropriate personnel will receive an email notification of this change. And order pull. This enables users to pull stock for multiple pick tickets and orders at the same time. You can even have multiple people pulling for the same orders at the same time. Here's some things you're going to need to get started using TrulinX Air. Well, obviously, first you'll need TrulinX, but as far as the module goes, first you'll need the Honeywell CT60 scanner running a customized version of the Android operating system. This is a powerful scanner with a robust form factor that will be connected to your wireless network and your TrulinX database. There are also a lot of accessories that you can choose from to go along with it. We have a document for the setup. We have a document which contains the instructions to get the scanner set up. It's pretty neat. There's a bunch of QR codes on the document, and you just scan them one by one, and it actually loads the app and loads the program just by scanning the QR codes in the document. Please note there are a lot of different models within the Honeywell CT60 family. Reach out to me, if you're shopping on your own, just to make sure we get the right version. Barcodes. If you do not have your items and bins barcoded already, we highly recommend using QR codes. Even if they get dirty or worn down over time, the QR code format scans much more reliably than a traditional linear barcode. TrulinX Air also supports reading external item barcodes from vendors by mapping from vendor items and vendor catalog IDs directly to the TrulinX part number. This can come in handy when a vendor supplies a barcoded packing list with your shipment, or if the item itself is already barcoded by the vendor. If you don't have bins set up already, there's actually, you can set them up individually, or TrulinX actually has a program called bin generation process, which allows you to set parameters and create a large group of bins at the same time. This is a great feature for anyone that's just getting started, or if you're opening a new location or warehouse. And last, you're going to need the module. You can call me for a proposal, call Bill, Lorna, Ray, whoever. All right, so what if your warehouse is a mess? It's not organized at all and you don't know where to get started. Call this guy. This is John Schreibfetter, and he's an expert in inventory management. His company is called Effective Inventory Management. He's been helping distributors longer than I've been alive. He's also written books on it. At the very least, I would say make sure you go to his website and sign up for his blog posts. They're really worth it, and he posts blogs usually weekly. All right, so let's talk a little bit about two bin properties that you can utilize in conjunction with TrulinX Air. They're called bin zones and bin sequences. These two features are all about ramping up your efficiency. To help understand these features, let us take a look at my diagram of my warehouse. I know it's very fancy. So you can see by my diagram, I have created zones in my warehouse. By doing this, it allows your warehouse employees to filter down to a specific area of your warehouse. This enables multiple people to pick or put away the same orders at the same time. One person could be pulling fittings while another person is pulling hose for the same order at the same time. This helps to keep your employees from bumping into each other, as well as speeding up the order pull and put away processes. It also assists with cycle counting if you have multiple people counting at the same time. Next feature is called bin sequences. This is a way to order your bins so that items come up to be pulled, put away, and counted in the most efficient manner. The idea is to number your bins with bin sequences so that when you're pulling or putting away an order, you can snake your way up and down each aisle, picking from both sides of the aisle. This feature alleviates backtracking and overall fewer steps per order pull or put away. Staging areas is another one for utilizing TrulinX Air. Staging areas are a place for orders to be consolidated when multiple people are working on a single order. For instance, when two people are pulling for an order and one person finishes first, they should not have to wait around for the other person to finish. Instead, they can stage their picked inventory with the staging ID. Some customers like to use a cart or a pole or a cone. They put a QR code on that item, in that area to designate them as the staging area, so that employees can just scan the staging ID. All right, let's jump into some demonstration here. I'm not as good as Bill Horrigan, so I had to use screenshots, and I'm also not in a warehouse. So this is the main menu of the TrulinX Air screen. I'm not going to bore you with the settings tab during my presentation today. If you really want to see the settings, send me an email. You can see that I'm logged in as at location 02, and my user ID is JWW. This is important for keeping track of who is doing what and when in your warehouse. The hamburger, or the 3 lines at the top left of the screen, allows for a pullout of even more features. You can see from this pullout screen that there are 2 more features called item bin search and bin item search. These are new features that we recently added. Item bin search and bin item search are 2 useful tools that can quickly tell you what bins are associated with an item or what items are associated with a bin. This can be accomplished without disrupting other workflows. Just scan either an item or a bin and you get a snapshot of what is associated with either one. So the first process we can cover is bin move. This is a pretty simple one, but it's pretty powerful too for a warehouse employee. This allows a warehouse employee to move product from one bin to another in real time. Say, for example, the warehouse employee is unable to fit any more parts in a certain bin. With bin move, they can move the parts to an overstock bin in real time. No more jotting notes down on paper, walking it over to a manager, and then hoping the change is made sometime that day or even week. All right, so once you're in the bin move screen, you can see that the first 4 fields are red. These are required fields to complete a successful bin move. The buttons below those required fields are delete old bin. This is if you're emptying out an old bin of a particular item. This allows you to delete the reference of that item to that bin, but it does not delete the old bin out of the system. The permanent, for sale, put away, and picking priority buttons are all for when you are creating a brand new item bin reference. For example, if this is the first time you are associating a brand new item to a bin, you'll be required to fill out this information. So you can see from my screen that I've already scanned my item, then the old bin, the quantity I wanted to move, and the new bin. I'm moving my coil hose from the old bin of H2A1 to the new bin named stock. I'm only moving a quantity of 1 for now. Once you click the post button, you'll get a pop-up screen telling you it was either successful or something is invalid. So everything's good here. Required information was valid. I get a pop-up that the move was successful. So what are the benefits of using TrulinX Air's bin move feature? This allows users to organize inventory without leaving the shelf, updates the bin data immediately once you hit post, provides validation to ensure changes are legitimate. Next, let's get into the inventory count screen. It's always good practice to have your warehouse manager select and freeze a section of inventory at the end of each day, so when your employees arrive in the morning, they can begin counting first thing. I selected a few items and froze them in TrulinX so that I can count them. Oh, one important benefit to note is if you are using TrulinX Air, you no longer need to print out the count sheets. All your counts are handled within TrulinX Air in real time. This alleviates the paper and the handwritten notes. So when you're in the inventory count entry screen, you can see the upside down pyramid in the top right corner. This screen allows you to filter down to a certain area or zone, as we spoke about a little earlier, that you want to count in the warehouse. This is helpful if you have multiple people, again, counting at the same time. Here's what the inventory count entry filter screen looks like. You can select to count from a certain range based on either bin to bin or from item to item. You can also select a zone if you have the zone set up. Once I'm in the inventory count entry screen, I can begin counting. I first scan the bin, then my item, then enter my count. One thing to note within Location Master Maintenance and TrulinX, you have the ability to turn on or off the display of on-hand quantity. This allows for what we call blind counting. That way each person counting does not change their count based upon what TrulinX says should be there. All right, so now that I have my first item counted, I can then hit post. If I have more to count, it will take me to the next item that needs to be counted. You can see once I hit post, my information was populated in the bottom of the screen. This tracks who counted, the last count quantity, and the time and date. Once I have completed all my counts, I get a message that lets me know I am finished counting. So here are some of the benefits of using TrulinX Air's inventory count feature. It's all about accuracy. You're making sure that your employees are counting the correct item by first scanning the bin and then scanning the item. We all know that some items look similar, and that can cause someone to easily pick the incorrect part. With TrulinX Air, you're avoiding these scenarios by leveraging the technology of barcoding. There's no more writing on notes on a count sheet and having to decipher someone's handwriting. Counts are completed in real time as well. No longer needing to print the count sheets. And this also utilizes bin sequences so that you're counting in the most efficient manner as possible. Again, snaking up and down, not backtracking. You can scan barcodes of item numbers, vendor item numbers, and vendor catalog cross-reference numbers. All right, we'll hop out to the main menu, talk about the put away workflow. So after the PO is received and the item put away report is printed, the user can switch over to TrulinX Air and put the PO away. This workflow will allow the user to get the inventory to the shelf accurately and efficiently. Features like OSD notifications, which are short for overage, shortage, and damaged, streamline the process even more. This might seem a little different from your current put away process, but this functionality alerts your purchasing personnel in real time when a vendor has shipped an incorrect or damaged quantity or damaged item. So here's a sample of my put away report. You can see that my put away ID is barcoded as well as my line items. Please also note my bin zones are referenced on this report. Again, in the put away workflow, you can filter down to a specific zone in your warehouse if you have them set up in TrulinX. By filtering down to a specific zone in the put away workflow, multiple people can put away the same orders at the same time. It's a great way to, I guess, divide and conquer. So once in the main screen of put away, you can see that I've scanned my put away ID and has returned 2 purchase orders. I can select multiple or individual purchase orders to put away. I'm going to go ahead and continue with putting away both of these purchase orders. Click the start button and begin the process. All right, so here I am in my first item to put away. I first scan the bin, then the item, the PO, and enter my quantity. If everything was valid, I can then click post and it will tell me if it was successful. For my next line, I'm putting away a coil hose. Looks like my vendor shorted me about 10 feet on my order. So I enter what I received. When I click post, you're going to see this pop-up message. All right, so this pop-up notification gives me 2 options. The partial option is if you want to put away 10 to this bin and the remainder somewhere else. For example, I am selecting the overage shortage option since my vendor only shipped me 10 feet. Once you select the overage shortage option, this generates an email notification to a predefined list of users. Personnel can then create an inventory adjustment, TrulinX for the discrepancy of the shortage, or take action however they need to. For this scenario, for the next scenario, I open the box and all items were damaged. Instead of selecting my target bin for this line, I can select a return bin. When I select the return bin, this triggers the following screen. This is the put away vendor return entry screen. You can add comments to the screen, and the reason code field is actually the reason code field is mandatory. Once you hit post, an email notification again is sent to the the pertinent to the correct personnel. That person can then act as needed as they can either vendor return maintenance and then process that vendor return. And this is all done in real time again. All right, so once I've completed putting away all my items, I get a pop-up telling me that it's complete. I can either select the new put away ID or return to the main menu. All right, so I'm done with that one, my put away. So using TrulinX Air for the put away workflow enables your warehouse front office to be better in tune with what is going on in real time. You can put items away faster and with much better accuracy as well. All right, let's get into the order pull workflow. In the past, without TrulinX Air, the picking process went from running pick ticket print to shipping that pick ticket and shipment confirmation process. Similarly, a user in counter order maintenance would print a counter order pick ticket, pick the parts, and return to their PC to enter the pick quantities by hand before checking out the counter order. In both workflows, there was a large gap that required extra paperwork and manual entry. That changed once we released TrulinX Air. An order pull can contain either pick tickets or counter orders that a warehouse worker can pick for all at once. The feature will guide the user from bin to bin so that one or more orders can be filled in a single pass through the warehouse. As the user picks the inventory for each line, they will be recording the picked quantity. This means that when the user over or under picks for whatever reason, it will be recorded in real time. Oops, jumped the gun. So, be back up here. Once the order is completed, the pick tickets on that order pull can go through the shipment confirmation process, or that counter order can be checked out. The key result is that the pick quantities entered in TrulinX Air will automatically feed back into the pick quantity columns in either shipment confirmation process or counter order maintenance. All right, so let's go into order pull maintenance. At the top of the page, you see that there are a few empty fields. These fields describe the current order pull and are therefore empty when we're in the process of creating a new order pull. We'll begin creating our order pull by looking up our first pick ticket. You can either scan the pick ticket or use the binoculars to look it up. I prefer to look it up with the binoculars. I've selected my pick ticket 29212 so that I can begin pulling for this order. You'll see that as open tickets are scanned or selected using the binoculars, they're added to the list. Additionally, along with the pick ticket number is a delete button so that the user can remove any pick tickets from the list as needed. For this order pull, we are only going to select this individual pick ticket. At this point, we will press the start button to begin the picking. All right, so the next page, we're into order pull entry. And this is where the app directs us to our first bin and item. You'll see that our required fields are in red. System will not allow you to move forward if the user does not scan the correct bin and item. Aside from the standard post and clear buttons at the bottom, are also a previous and next button to help you. You can go through the whole order pull data. These navigation buttons traverse the entire order pull within the selected bin zones for both picked and unpicked lines. Revisiting a pick line allows the user to double check an entry and update if need be. The next is a stage button. Pressing this button allows the user to assign or join the order pull to a staging ID. This is particularly useful if the picker is interrupted, but some inventory has already been picked. Once a picker becomes available, they can complete the rest of the order pull and join all inventory together via the assigned staging ID. Lastly is the put away button. This button is enabled when the item is pending put away, meaning it's been received, but it hasn't been put away to the shelf yet. More than likely, it's on its way to the shelf on the put away cart. Pressing this button performs what we call an expedited put away, so that the item is put away and picked in one streamline action without ever having to physically hit the shelf. All right, so we've successfully scanned our bin and item, and we then hit post. This creates an order pull detail record in real time. Takes us to our next item to pull. Again, everything is valid for this one, and we continue to our next item. We can see that our next item only had 3 in the bin, but the pick ticket calls for 6. As a result, we override the pick quantity to reflect what was actually picked. Now let's click post. Anytime that a short pick occurs, the user must confirm the discrepancy. Once confirmed, an email notification can be sent to the warehouse manager or a predefined list. So they can correct the quantity on hand for that item in that bin. You'll see there is an additional option to perform an expedited put away. Selecting this option is the same as pressing the button we previously discussed. This option is only shown when the item in question is pending put away. All right, so for the purpose of today, we're just going to simply confirm the short pick. Once my order pull is completed, I receive the following message. There are three options at this point. The first is to return to the main menu and select a new order pull. The review button allows me to go back and double check my work and make updates if need be. And the third option is the stage button, which I'm going to demonstrate during our next order pull quickly. Okay, I return back out order pull maintenance screen to begin a new order pull. I've selected pick ticket 29213 to start. Once I have my pick ticket selected, you'll see a filter icon in the top right corner of the screen next to the home button. Pressing this launches the bin zone selection pop-up. So once I'm in here, we can make our selection. I'm going to select my fitting zone for the first pass of this order pull. Back on the order pull entry, the filter icon has changed color from blue to white to indicate a bin zone filter is active. From there, we can press start and begin picking the order pull in the fittings bin zone. So order pull entry behaves the same way as before until the bin zone is fully picked. Once the order pull is finished in the selected bin zone, the system prompts the user to let them know and give them options on how to proceed. In this scenario, it is recommended that the user stages the partially completed order pull by selecting the stage option in order to assign a staging ID. So that takes us to the order pull staging page. Here we can scan the staging ID, like the cone or the cart or whatever, and assign the order pull to it. Whenever the order pull is staged at a later time, the same assigned staging ID will have to be scanned again so the system knows all the items picked for this order pull are in one place. Once the order pull has been assigned to a staging ID, the user is prompted to either return to order pull maintenance or to the main menu. We're headed back to order pull maintenance to complete our order pull in the hose bin zone. So now I'm going to go back and select my hose bin zone for the second pass. And once we finish picking the remaining inventory for this order pull, the system is aware that its inventory has already been staged and at what staging ID. As a result, the order pull staging page now has the additional information of the assigned staging ID so that the user knows which one to join. Once they scan or enter the correct staging ID, that tells the system that the order pull is finished and located all in one place. Now that we've completed the entire order pull, we can go back to the main menu and get ready for our next task. At this point, the order pull's pick tickets can be shipped out in shipment confirmation process, or the counter order can be checked out back in counter order maintenance. This is a dashboard built in to TrulinX. This is the order pull activity log inquiry screen. This is a nice all-in-one dashboard, tracks every action taking place in the order pull workflow. The screen allows the user to view and analyze the log data in a flexible yet powerful way. Filtering options include user ID, the location, counter order, or pick ticket item, and date. And also the grid columns can be reorganized, grouped, and filtered as is standard in all DevX grids throughout TrulinX. All right, so inventory is often a distributor's largest asset, but for some reason it usually gets the least amount of attention. By adding the TrulinX Air module, you're creating an overall more efficient and accurate warehouse. You're gaining insight and collecting important data in real time so that you can make better decisions quickly. This module is definitely affordable for all customers, but definitely has been a game changer for all of our TrulinX customer base. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation today. If you have any questions, hope you put them in the chat or email me or call me or whatever. We're happy to help. Here's my contact information again, for those of you that might not have it. So I'm going to hand it over to Bill Rosado with Aldrich Web Solutions. They're truly a great partner of ours. They've been a partner for years now. They provide really powerful tools to help our customers. Hand it over. How do I?
Good afternoon to everybody on the East Coast, and good morning to everybody out west of the Mississippi. Yeah, I don't have the ability to share yet, Jeff.
Okay, let me see if.
While we work on that, my name is Bill Rosado. I am with Aldrich Web Solutions. We are the TrulinX preferred e-commerce provider. We greatly appreciate you taking the time today to learn about what we do, but we really appreciate our partnership with contribute as far as to be able to go ahead and serve their customers online.
Bill or Lorna, do you know how I can give the control over to Bill? You're muted, Bill.
So go to the, go
Oh,
under,
I think you did it right
Did you
there.
get it? Okay.
Can you see my
Excellent.
screen?
yep.
We're good. Thank you.
All right. So at the end of the webinar, we'll field questions if we have time. If not, you put it in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to try to reach back out to you and be able to answer any questions that you guys might have about the portal. All right. All right. So your customers, we know your customers are short-staffed. They no longer are working and operating just Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You know, they're looking for an online avenue in order to find information about their business from you. So we designed the portal in order to help give them that capability. So currently, you know, where we all sit in our customer seats, I'm sure that you're banking with someone that gives you online banking. You're asking your suppliers and vendors to provide you business information at your fingertips. So why wouldn't we go ahead and supply that to our customers at the same time and give them online access 24/7? So we'll go ahead and roll right into a live demo here. Just some information, you know, there are many reports out there showing that your customers are looking for 24/7 online access without the help of a CSR or a sales team interaction. So the portal itself gives them that capability to come on 24/7 and be able to access their information. So when we look at it, the company here, the distributor, is actually Marion Hose and Supply, but you can see we allow you to go ahead and brand that for your customer. You can see right here, I'm logged in under ABB, but I'm the ABC generic company. So my logo is here. So actually you allow them to see that it's actually their portal, right? It's not just your portal, it's their individual portal. One of the most popular things that they have capability to do is go ahead and search by a part number or by a description. This is all tied into their TrulinX. So if I want to search tape rules, I could go ahead and search tape rules, and it's going to pull up from TrulinX all the tape rules that are available. You can see direct information that's coming from the TrulinX showing that it's not in stock or that it is in stock. And then this is my pricing that is specific to Bill at ABB here in our TrulinX system. And now that if you have multiple locations, you're able to go ahead and let them view that information from the different warehouses. So, you know, if my home warehouse is in Marion, I could see if Marion didn't have it, if Heron location had it, or if they only had enough to get me partial, if I could get the other portion from, you know, an additional warehouse that you have available. You also see that we go ahead and brand this. So we would use your logo and your colors so that it would feel just like it is an extension of your website. You'll see actually this is Marion Supply at eliportal.com. So you could actually put on your existing website a button for them to go ahead and land here on this page, or you can just share this information as far as this URL with your customers so that they can know that they can come on and go ahead and find the information that they're looking for. One of the other key functions to have is to be able to search an order, invoice, or a PO, so they can go ahead and enter that here and track that order. So they're no longer having to wait, right, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, if that's when you're open, in order to find out what that tracking number is, right? I can go ahead and find it. They can see all their recent company orders. And when I say company orders, you know, this is driven from TrulinX. So ABB here, these are the actual orders that are in the system here that are tied in here, and including quotes. So if you're building quotes for someone, they can go on here 24/7. They don't have to contact somebody in sales or a customer service representative in order to find their quotes and access their quotes. Now, I know I'm kind of rolling through this pretty quickly. And actually, I probably could do a complete hour demo on this. So forgive me if I go too fast, just trying to cover everything that we have possibility. If after the fact you want to see a live demo, more than happy to schedule individual demos so that we can kind of go through this and answer your questions. We know we've been in the B2B distribution world for a long time, so we know frequently purchased items is a key item that your customers are looking for, because your customers aren't Amazon shoppers, right? They're not out there looking for things that they think maybe they want to get. They're out here because they have a need. So this gives them the ability to quickly find those items that they purchase on a regular basis. Whenever we do click on one of them, just to kind of give you some detail, and this is information that's pulling directly from their TrulinX system, your TrulinX system on their information. Here you can see there's just a basic description, an item number, individual pricing. So this is my pricing, and then again, multiple locations. It gives them the ability to see that. They can even view their purchase history just to ensure that was the item that they were looking for because we had purchased it before previously. When I go down here, some of the other account tools that they have available to them is they can go ahead and see their current statement. So they can pull up their statement, and it's even printable. And you will see that we actually even make it nice, clean copy, able to put your logo up there. So it actually looks like it is a statement that's coming from you, and they can print it from there. Other is invoices and shipments. They can see their invoices and shipments. Something that is a hot button right now is open back orders. So I have the ability to go ahead and find my open back orders, right? So instead of having to call up and take some time for one of your CSRs, they can go ahead and find their back order. Now that they can go ahead and request an ETA on that. And we kind of resolve some of the opportunities that you have that you probably receive as far as phone calls, because a lot of times they'll call in and they'll ask for information on the order that they ordered last week. And you're like, well, what's the order number? They don't remember. Well, in this case, it's going ahead and populate all that information. You see all the asterisks here are required, but it's also populated information. So the actual order number is going to come through to you. Even the description, the part number is going to come through, and they can put any comments that they want to add right here, and then just go ahead and click and request an ETA. And that's going to be directed to the email address that you want to put in place for them in order to reach out to you. So they can track their orders, like I said, so they can either, if they know it, they can search up here, but here they can track their orders and view their quotes straight from here. I don't think that Chuck knew Monday that I was actually on the call. I kind of watched Bill's presentation and Chuck was on there. And so I just want to let you know that I didn't pay Chuck to give us an endorsement, but when he talked about using our portal, this is what Chuck was talking about. So if you want a real life testimonial as far as the portal, Chuck is somebody that you can reach out. He's a great resource, and it is something that they use. Currently there are two different packages. One is the silver, which is a lot of the items I just showed you, plus some other. But Chuck also talked about they took the gold package. So he used it where people can go ahead and pay invoices online. You see there's two here, they're in red in my demo here. One is to pay invoices online. The other is to request a quote. So I'll kind of just walk through paying an invoice online. You see it is, again, it's attached to ABB and TrulinX. So this is real live TrulinX data. So these are my invoices, right? I have the ability that I can go ahead and pick a date range of invoices I want to see, invoices from the previous month, or if I just want to pay all my past due, I can click all my past due. You can see there are a couple here that say payment pending, meaning that someone from my company has already logged in and went ahead and made a payment on these. So it doesn't allow me to go ahead and double pay as far as paying my invoices. But I can handpick and select which ones that I want. I even have the ability to go ahead, and short pay. So for instance, if I knew that I was going to go ahead and be getting a credit on some of this, I could short pay this and just pay $300, make a partial payment. Going to click to proceed to payment. One of the key things too on the invoice payment is they have the ability to save their payment options. So I can go right here and manage my save and add a payment option, right? So I can add a credit card or an e-check. Now, the demo is set up to do both credit card or ACH. You have that capability to let us know, and we would tailor it to you. So if you don't want to accept credit cards for invoice payments, you don't have to. If you don't want to accept ACH, you don't have to. You can choose to offer both or one or the other. And that is set up through two different vendors that we are tied to, as far as Authorize.net, which is the largest payment player in the business. And then Forte is another option. All right. The other thing that Chuck had talked about was as far as to send a quote. And you probably have on your website potentially a form that's built to where someone go ahead and populate that information. They have to key it in, right? And then instead of right here in special instructions, they write down, hey, here's the item number I need, or a description. Sometimes you kind of get a riddle, you know, rather than an actual quote request. So you have to figure out from the riddle, right? What item number are they talking about, or what is that description that they're looking for? If you see here, I've already started to build a quote request. It actually is using the part numbers themselves. It's giving you a description. All this is coming from your TrulinX, right? So this is good information. If I wanted to go ahead and add another thing, I could come in here and if I know my part number, I can put my part number in here. If I don't know, so for instance, I make a bad search here, right? So 456 is not a good part number, right? So I want to go ahead and find it. It's going to go back to TrulinX and try to find all those things that potentially 456 is a good item number. So I'm going to get a quality item number there, and it's actually going to put it in. Now, if there is something that I could not find on your portal, but I know that you had it, right? I can go ahead and type in that I'm looking for something that I'm pretty sure that you carry. And I can go ahead and click this non-stock item here, right? And then put any type of description that I wanted to tell you. And even if it isn't something that you carry, it does give you the capability to allow them to ask you first, right? So they're not bouncing to another website or another vendor in order to find it. So I can go ahead and add that to my quote request and then submit the quote request. You're going to get an email sent to you with all this information. So you're getting good quality information, not partial information or bad information. Like I said, a riddle of some sort that you're trying to figure out exactly what they're wanting to get a quote on. So that just kind of touches a little bit on the TrulinX. And like I said, I'd be more than happy to do a longer demo with you individually if someone wants to see more about it. I'll go ahead and break down just some information because you probably got some questions in mind now. What is the difference between portal and e-commerce? We do offer for TrulinX a full e-commerce system, but portal and e-commerce are not the same. They're two separate items. So today I'm showing you portal. Portal and e-commerce both allow your customers to get online. They can go ahead and see their pricing and availability. They can do order tracking. They can see purchase, invoice, and account history, right? So that's in both portal and the full e-commerce. Portal does not have online ordering. So there's no actual e-commerce that would be in the full e-commerce. There's no marketing content pages. And then of course, there's no product images as you've seen on the demo. It's just taking some basic information and giving them the basic information. So it's not giving them those pictures and images and any other documents. That's all on full e-commerce. Portal though does have a very low implementation cost, and it's a very quick setup. It is something that can be set up. We can stand a portal up in like a 2-week setup time. Actually, I've seen it where we've done it in less than a week for someone. So it does have advantages in order to be able to service customer quickly, whereas a full e-commerce does have a longer, it's a 22-week time setup time. Pricing, the next question that you probably in the back of your mind is wanting to know what's this going to cost. You actually see that, you know, we have a silver and a gold package. There is a future platinum package. It's not available, it's coming soon. I would say, well, don't quote me. I was going to say probably this summer, but I'll preface it that it should be this year that platinum is available. And platinum is going to allow your quotes actually to go back into TrulinX system, so it'll be integrated to where they'll come back in and someone won't have to key those quotes. But it's also going to have some sales rep functions to allow your sales team to be able to use your portal too. But currently, implementation, like I said, it's a quick implementation, so it's 2 weeks. So implementation is $4,000 as far as implementation. The ongoing hosting and support, the silver package is $500 a month. The gold is $700 a month. So the gold is including getting the online invoice payments, which is probably one of our most popular items that we have, and then also allowing you to have them to build a quote card. Promo we put into place for Tribute customers converting to TrulinX. We're going to give a 25% discount off the implementation. That's good through the end of 2022. So if you go ahead and decide to make that transition this year to move from Tribute to TrulinX, we're going to go ahead and give you a promotion in order to get 25% off. So, you know, you're looking at $3,000 rather than $4,000 on the implementation. One of the key things to really think about is when you look at the investment in the portal, total investment is less than 50% of what it would take in order to hire a new CSR. And I know all our distribution customers that we talk to on a regular basis, hiring is not easy right now. So, you know, here is an option in order to give a 24/7 online CSR at a fraction of the price of what it costs to actually pay somebody and then have to train them in order to do everything that this already does. Let alone to think about what do you save as far as a return on investment, as far as one, keeping customers because you're giving them technology that you didn't have before, and two, freeing up your current staff not to have to field a call on some of this information that someone can find 24/7.